Hello guys, welcome to a new video. This one is a request on how to make vehicles in Unreal Engine 5. Yeah, we're gonna use the Polygon military pack for this, but you can use whatever car you want. And yeah, we're gonna get started by making a new vehicle project. Just select where you want to put it. And then I'm just gonna name it vehicle template project, and then just create it, and I'll be back once the project is created. Alright guys, once the vehicle project is up and running, as you can see, if we press play, we have the default UE5 vehicle project. And yeah, let's get started. So the first thing we want to do is import the assets that we're going to use. Like I said, I'm going to use the military pack for this, the Polygon military pack, but you can use whatever you want. Just find your project and add to it, like so. Now just wait until it's here. In the meantime, what we're going to do is we are actually going to set up some actors that we're going to use. So make a new folder, call it core, and inside here what we want to do is actually go into the vehicle template, take this vehicle add v pawn class and duplicate it, and we're going to call it BP vehicle master. Press save. Then we're going to drag that into the core folder, which disappeared. So I'm just gonna make it again. So core, then go back and drag it into the core folder, like so. Next thing we're gonna need is, if you go to blueprint class and then you select the wheel, it will have the chaos vehicle wheel. Select that one, and we're gonna call it BP vehicle wheel front, and then we're going to duplicate it and we're going to call it back. So you have the front wheel and the back wheel. Now open up the front wheel for a second. On the right you see the different things we can modify, and what we're going to do is just say this is the front wheel. Wheel radius and width, we'll adjust it based on the wheels itself. We'll check that out in a second. Then you can just play around with these values. I'm not gonna go too in depth about it. I'm just gonna show you how to make the vehicles itself, and then you can play around with the values as much as you want. After that, we want to say that the front wheel is affected by steering. You can say affected by engine if you want to have a 4x4, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to have a normal one. Affected by handbrake? No. Affected by brake? No. If you have a rear-wheel drive, you won't have that, but we'll just put it for more like an arcade vibe. After that, you can close this one down. And the back wheel, we want to say it's the rear wheel. Affected by handbrake, yes. Affected by engine, yes. Traction control, I'm gonna enable that. And then affected by steering is no. Everything else you can play around with it, but we're gonna keep it like this. Okay. So next thing we're gonna do is actually open up the vehicle pawn class, and in the mesh we're actually going to grab the vehicle that we want. So now that the military pack is in here, we're going to go into the vehicles, and we are going to be using the let's take the SUV, why not? So we're going to add this here, and of course you might need to adjust the camera a little bit, you know, but that's not a big issue. Now to set it up so we can actually drive this, we're going to go into the vehicle movement component, and we are going to go into the wheel setup, it already has 4 wheels set up, but we need to put in the sockets that we're using. So double click on the mesh to open it up. And as you can see right here, it has the front left, front right, rear left, and rear right. We're just going to be copying this bone name. Go in here. And so for the first one, it's front left. Then it is front right. Then it is rear left and rear right. Okay. And now, as you can see, it says Polska wheel front. We just want to switch that to the ones that we just created, which is the vehicle wheel front and the vehicle wheel back, like so. And now to see how big the tires are, the diameter of it, what you can do is go into the SUV, go into the right of it. Oh, actually, no, that's not true. What you can do is just drag in the SUV into the world for a minute, like so. Just gonna turn around like so. And now if you go into one of the side views, I think it's side view, I'm not too sure. We'll have to check that out. No, it's actually the front view. There you go. And now you can actually see the vehicle. And what you can do is, if you press the middle mouse button, you will actually measure how big the wheel is. So it is 90. The diameter is 90. So what you can do is go back into the vehicle wheel front, and the radius, just set that to 90. And for the width, we can go into the right view. And now the width of the tire is, say, 35-ish. There you go. Now we just need to make sure that the back wheels also have the same thing. So 90 and 35. Now that that is set up, we can actually just, it should work. Let's see. Engine setup, it is all set up. It should work. So if we just go into the perspective now, and we go in the bottom right here, we go to world game mode, and we set this to be the, actually, let's call this BP vehicle master. And then if we search for master, we can actually get the, I think I accidentally had the wrong one. Yeah, vehicle master. Let's call that again. And if we type in master, like so, and we play, as you can see, the camera is off, but if we drive, all right, yes. As you can see, it does work. We are driving the car. The main issue is, first of all, the center of mass is completely wrong. Second of all, the wheels aren't animating. In order to fix the wheels not animating, what we're gonna do is actually go back into our core. We're gonna create a animation blueprint. And if you go to the parent class at the bottom, we can say vehicle animation instance for the SUV. We're gonna call this animation blueprint SUV 01. Okay, open this. All you want to do in here is get a mesh space ref pose into a wheel controller, and that goes in there with a component to local, and that is it. Go back into the vehicle master, assign the animation blueprint to it, which is right here. Now if we go into the game, as you can see, now the wheels are animating and everything is working fine. The one issue that you're gonna notice now is that the center of mass is off. The car flips really easily. A way that I found to fix this is to go to the mesh, add a scene component, and we're gonna call this center of gravity. And all you're gonna do here is place this center of gravity where the bottom of the car is, roughly. So we'll say something like that. And then we're just gonna copy the location, go into the vehicle component, and if you scroll to the bottom, it says enable center of mass override. And you're just gonna paste the location there, which is 50. Now if you go into the game, and you go, as you can see, the car doesn't flip that easily anymore because the center of gravity is way lower. So that is already fixed, like so. And if you press the spacebar, the handbrake will come on. If you press S, you will go into reverse. And yeah, that's basically a really simple tutorial on how to set up vehicles. If you have vehicles with multiple wheels, that's also possible to do. Like, for example, if I go to the, let's take one that doesn't have the tracks. Let's say the APC. Let's say the APC, right? You can do it as well. The only thing you have to do is make sure that all the wheels are in the animation, in the blueprint. So we'll just do it quickly, right? We have time left. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a child, call it BP APC01. We're also going to create a animation blueprint once again for the vehicle animation instance. We're gonna call APC. And we're gonna see which one this is, which I think it's APC1. We're gonna call it ABP APC01. Now if oh, it's not the correct one. Hold on. This is actually APC heavy 01. Okay. So delete this, go back animation blueprint, call the APC heavy. There it is. Call it ABP APC heavy 01, or just call it whatever you want. I'm just keeping the name the same because it's easier. Once again, a mesh space into a wheel controller. That goes in there, like so. Open up the APC blueprint, change this to the APC heavy, give it the animation blueprint, like so. And of course you need to adjust the camera a little bit, but you can do that, you know. I'm not gonna worry too much about it now. Just gonna set it back a little bit, like so. And now in the vehicle movement component, where you have the wheel set up, right here, what we want to do is we want to have all the wheels in here. So this one has 8, which the first 4 are turning, the other 4 are not. So what we're gonna do is say 1 is a front wheel, 2 is a front wheel, those are front wheels and those are back wheels. So what we're gonna say is copy this, go into the vehicle master, into the APC, sorry, and then we're gonna have front wheel 01, front wheel 02, then we actually want to have 2 more for the front. This is the front wheel right 01 and the front right 02, and then we want to have 4 more. Open those up. These are the back wheels, like so. Go into here and we'll say rear left 01, 02, and then the right wheel 01 and 02, like so. Compile and save, and that should be all we have to do. So if we go in here and we say APC master, or APC it is, yes. Delete this guy, and now if you press play, as you can see, the wheels are animating, simulation is working fine. Center of gravity might need to be adjusted a little bit more. It really depends on what you want. And as you can see, it is working perfectly. The turret is moving because it's being simulated. If you want to disable that, what you can do is actually go into the mesh, then go into the animation, the physics asset of this mesh. And you can go into the turret and the turret gun. And what you can say in the physics type, you can say kinematic. By doing that, it will not simulate the physics, but yeah, as you can see, it does kind of break the simulation of the rest. You can also say simulated. It's been a while since I've done this, but no, that does not seem to work either. Alright guys, I am back. I found an easier way to do it instead of calculating this. So if we just delete this, I'm sorry, but if we just quickly delete this and also the transform bone, and we go back into the physics asset and we actually click on the constraints, which if you open this dropdown and say show constraints, you select the heavy turret and the heavy gun, and then in the, still simulating, okay, and then in the right side, if you scroll down to angular limits, this one will be open by default. You just want to set this to locked, which that will mean that this turret will not move when using simulation. So if I now go into the game and I drive and I turn around, as you can see, the turret will not move around. You can still modify it by getting the control rotation of the mouse and then adjusting the turret to that. If you guys want to see a tutorial on how to do that, like how to set up tanks and APCs like this with turrets, let me know and I'll make a follow-up tutorial for that. But yeah, that's how you set up vehicles. This does not include tanks with tracks. That's a whole other thing that will require another video. But yeah, every vehicle that has wheels on the floor will be able to use this. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like, comment what you want to see next, and subscribe to the channel if you can. I would appreciate that. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys in another video. See ya.